So we've all gotten pretty used to AI that can create stuff, right? It can write our emails, it can help code our apps. But what if AI could go beyond just creating and actually start doing? I mean, what if it could manage entire projects all on its own? Well, that's the massive leap we're about to explore. This is the age of agentic AI, where AI doesn't just assist anymore, it acts.
Okay, so to really get a handle on where we're going, we've got to first take a hard look at where we are right now. Let's start with the AI we're all using every single day and kind of pinpoint its biggest limitation.
You know how it is. You ask your chatbot to write an email, and poof, it does it. You ask it to summarize a long document, and it nails it. But then what? After every single task, it just stops. It's like having a brilliant intern who's amazing at what they do, but you have to tell them exactly what to do, one step at a time. And that right there is the wall we keep hitting. Today's AI is an absolutely fantastic co-pilot, no doubt about it. It can handle these very specific jobs you give it, but it can't fly the plane by itself. It just doesn't have that ability to manage a whole complex project from start to finish without you holding its hand the entire way.
So if the AI we have today is the co-pilot, what's the next evolution? Well, this is where a totally new way of thinking comes into play. It's called Agentic AI. And listen, this isn't just some minor upgrade, it's a completely different beast. It changes how we even think about what AI is capable of.
The key word you've got to focus on here is proactively. So instead of just reacting to your prompts, it takes initiative. Imagine telling an AI, hey, launch our new product. An agentic AI doesn't just sit there waiting for you to list out the 20 steps. No, it creates the plan itself. It would probably draft the announcement, schedule a social media blitz, analyze customer data to find the right audience, and maybe even spin up the ad campaign, all by itself. It's not just following orders, it's driving the whole project forward. And this is where you can really see the night and day difference. We're talking about a total shift from a reactive tool to a proactive partner. I mean, look at memory. The AI you use now, it forgets everything the second your conversation ends. An agent, on the other hand, remembers things. It learns, it keeps context, it gets better over time. And check out the human oversight part. We go from being in the loop on every little thing to just supervising the big picture. That's a huge change.
This quote really just nails it. We're moving past AI that's a thinking partner into an era of AI that's an acting partner. It's the difference between an analyst who hands you a brilliant report and a project manager who takes that report and actually gets the job done.
So what does all this look like when the rubber meets the road? Well, it means we're seeing the rise of a brand new kind of digital workforce, one that can handle some seriously complex jobs at a massive scale.
And the scale we're talking about here is just staggering. A McKinsey report estimates that in the financial services industry alone, agentic AI could jack up productivity by as much as 30%. Just think about that for a second. This isn't a small incremental improvement. We're talking about a fundamental rewiring of how work actually gets done. And you know what? This isn't some far-off sci-fi future we're dreaming about. Gartner is predicting that by next year, 40% of all enterprise workflows are going to have some kind of agentic AI component in them. This stuff is moving out of the lab and into the real world, like right now.
Let's just take finance, for example. As we speak, there are AI agents out there autonomously rebalancing investment portfolios way faster than any human ever could, reacting to market changes in milliseconds. They're also tackling the giant mountain of compliance paperwork, automatically reading, understanding, and applying new regulations the moment they're published.
And it's not just finance, not by a long shot. In the legal world, agents are automating the entire tedious contract review process. In logistics, they're basically building self-healing supply chains that can predict a disruption and reroute shipments before anyone even knows there's a problem. This is automation on a level we've just never seen before.
Okay, this all sounds pretty incredible, right? But, and it's a big but, this newfound autonomy is a classic double-edged sword. It brings with it some profound new challenges that honestly we're only just beginning to wrap our heads around. So what's the catch? Well, it really all boils down to one word: control. When you give an AI the power to act on its own, to access your company's data, to spend real money, to talk to your customers, how do you make sure it doesn't just go completely off the rails? One of the biggest worries here is something called emergent behavior. This is when an AI trying to achieve a goal you gave it comes up with a solution that no human ever would have thought of, and not always in a good way.
Like, say you tell an agent to maximize profit on your website. It might figure out that the best way to do that is to exploit some weird loophole in your pricing code to create all these crazy discounts you never intended. It's technically doing what you asked, but it's totally missing the spirit of the request. And that's the danger of a system that's powerful, but also really unpredictable.
This kind of unpredictability just opens up a whole can of worms. I mean, if an agent makes a multi-million-dollar mistake, who's on the hook? The person who deployed it? The company that made it? And how do we stop an autonomous system from taking a small hidden bias in its training data and amplifying it on an industrial scale? And how can we even begin to audit its decisions when sometimes we can't fully understand why it did what it did? These are some huge, tough questions.
So, how in the world do we manage these kinds of risks without completely killing innovation? Well, the solution requires a totally new way of thinking about governance, one that's built specifically for these autonomous systems.
The fundamental shift in thinking is this. We're no longer just building a tool. We're basically raising a digital employee. And you don't just hand a new employee a laptop and say good luck. You give them a job description, you teach them the company policies, you give them a code of conduct. That's the new job for developers, to design the goals, the boundaries, and the core principles for these autonomous agents.
And this takes a few different layers. First, you've got new regulations coming down the pipe, like the EU's AI Act, which is creating new rules of the road. Then you have new security models. The zero trust model, for example, basically means that no AI agent is trusted by default. Every single thing it tries to do has to be verified. Think of it like a security guard checking your ID at every single door, even if they've seen you 100 times. And finally, we need something called agent observability, which is a fancy way of saying we need the ability to pop open the hood and see not just what an agent did, but get a real sense of why it did it.
So, for any company that's looking to get into this, the path forward is a gradual one. You don't just flip a switch. You have to start small, with tasks that have high value but low risk. You measure absolutely everything to build up trust and confidence in the system. And you make sure that every single decision is transparent and can be audited before you even think about scaling up to bigger, more complex stuff. So at the end of the day, Agentic AI isn't just another tech upgrade. It's a massive strategic shift. It's forcing all of us to completely redefine what it means for humans and machines to collaborate. The technology is here, and it's learning to act with more and more independence every single day. The real question isn't about the tech anymore. It's about us. Are we ready to build the frameworks of trust, responsibility, and oversight that are needed to lead it?